Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Emily Carter, medical specialist in health, wellness, and natural medicine. Today, I'm going to share information that could completely change the quality of your life and memory in the coming years. That plate of food you eat every day might be secretly stealing your memories. Yes, you heard that right. After the age of 60, certain common foods in our diet accelerate cognitive decline without showing visible symptoms, while others have the proven power to rejuvenate your brain cells. Have you ever stopped to think that your daily diet might be directly affecting your ability to remember names, faces, and even where you left your keys? If you're over 60 and have recently noticed that you're forgetting familiar names, important appointments, or where you place personal items, know that it's not just part of aging. It could be what's on your plate. And most importantly, you have the power to change this today. Let's first understand what really happens in your brain when you eat. When we consume ultra-processed and inflammatory foods, we create a toxic environment for neurons. Research from the University of São Paulo demonstrates that certain foods trigger an inflammatory cascade that damages the blood-brain barrier, your brain's natural protection. This chronic inflammation reduces the levels of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, an essential protein for forming new memories and neural connections. Think of this like a garden. If you don't take care of the soil, the plants begin to wither. Similarly, if you don't nourish your brain properly, the neural connections begin to deteriorate. The brain of people over 60 already faces natural challenges. When we add inflammatory foods to the diet, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire that was already burning. Let me share with you the story of one of my patients, whom I'll call Martha, a 68-year-old lady. Martha was always known for her sharp memory. As a retired accountant, she prided herself on remembering numbers and dates effortlessly. At 68, however, she began forgetting family birthdays and needed to consult notes for routine tasks. Does this sound familiar? Perhaps you or someone close to you is going through something similar. It was when my son, who is a doctor, noticed that I was eating the same foods daily, especially at breakfast and afternoon snack, Martha told me. He suggested a 30-day experiment, eliminating 5 foods from my diet and including 5 new ones. The results surprised even her neurologist. In 6 weeks, I took new cognitive tests and my results improved by almost 40%. More importantly, I regained confidence in my memory. Can you imagine Martha's joy when she realized she was recovering her memory? And the best part, you too can experience this transformation. But for that, we first need to identify the villains that are harming your brain daily. Let's talk about the 5 foods that most harm your brain and probably form part of your daily diet. The first is white bread and industrialized cakes. These foods cause glucose spikes that generate brain inflammation. Refined flour acts almost like pure sugar in the body, accelerating glycation processes that damage neurons. Have you noticed how sleepy you feel after eating white bread for breakfast? This isn't just a digestive symptom, but a sign that your brain is being affected. Second, we have processed meats like ham, bologna, and sausages. They're rich in nitrates and preservatives that cross the blood-brain barrier and promote oxidative stress in nerve cells. Studies from the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul associated regular consumption of these foods with a 28% higher risk of dementia. That bologna sandwich may seem harmless, but in the long run, it's silently affecting your cognitive function. The third villain is margarine and trans fats. These foods alter the fluidity of neuronal membranes, impairing communication between brain cells. These modified fats interfere with the production of neurotransmitters essential for memory. Did you know that trans fats can remain in the body for up to 2 years after consumption? During all that time, they continue to harm the health of your brain. The fourth harmful food is sodas and industrialized juices. The combination of refined sugar, colorings, and acidulants creates a perfect environment for systemic inflammation that affects the hippocampus, a crucial brain region for memory formation. A glass of soda contains about 10 teaspoons of sugar. Imagine the impact of this on your brain already vulnerable from age. Last but not least, we have bouillon cubes and ready-made seasonings. These products are extremely rich in monosodium glutamate and sodium, causing neuronal excitotoxicity and vasoconstriction, reducing cerebral blood flow, essential for the adequate nutrition of neurons. Have you noticed how thirsty you get after consuming foods with these seasonings? This is a clear sign that your body is trying to eliminate excess sodium, but the damage has already begun in your brain. Now that you know the villains, let's talk about the heroes, the 5 foods that protect and regenerate your brain. First, we have sardines and cold water fish. These foods are rich in omega-3 DHA, a nutrient that makes up about 25% of brain fat. Studies from UNIFESP showed that 2 weekly servings of these fish can increase hippocampus volume by up to 14% in older adults. This means that by including these fish in your diet, you're literally feeding your brain with what it needs to function properly. The second protective food is turmeric with black pepper. The compound curcumin, enhanced by piperine from black pepper, crosses the blood-brain barrier and reduces beta-amyloid plaques associated with Alzheimer's. A UCLA study demonstrated that this combination increases brain activity in regions associated with memory. You can add this powerful duo to your hot dishes or even prepare the famous golden milk, an ancient beverage that combines plant milk with turmeric and a pinch of black pepper. In third place, we have eggs with the yolk. They are a source of choline, a precursor to acetylcholine, a fundamental neurotransmitter for memory. They also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, carotenoids that concentrate in brain tissue and protect neurons from oxidative stress. Many people avoid consuming the yolk for fear of cholesterol, but know that it is precisely the most nutritious part for the brain. The fourth group of protective foods includes kale, spinach, and dark green vegetables. They're rich in folic acid and vitamin K, nutrients that researchers at the Federal University of Minas Gerais associated with the preservation of cognitive function. A study followed older adults for 12 years and found that those who consumed a daily portion of these vegetables had brains 11 years younger in cognitive tests. Can you imagine what it would be like to have a brain functioning as if it were 11 years younger? Finally, we have nuts, especially Brazil nuts and walnuts. These contain selenium, zinc, and vitamin E, powerful antioxidants that combat oxidative damage in brain tissue. Just 2 Brazil nuts daily provide the selenium necessary to optimize cognitive function. It's a small snack that brings enormous benefits. Now that you know both the villains and heroes of brain nutrition, you must be wondering, but do these changes really work? Is it not too late for me? Let me tell you another transformation story I witnessed in my practice. Joseph, a 75-year-old patient, replaced his morning white bread with eggs and spinach and included sardines twice a week. In the 3rd month of this new diet, during a party at his home, his granddaughter commented with surprise that he had remembered the names of all her friends who were present. He hadn't even noticed the difference himself, but there it was, clear as day. His memory was returning, his brain connections strengthening again. As a neuropsychologist specializing in healthy aging, I can safely state we see surprising results in memory tests after just 90 days of dietary intervention. Patients who could barely reproduce a sequence of 5 digits start to recall complete lists of words and recent events. And most fascinating, we're not talking about expensive medications or invasive treatments, but simply a change in the foods you put on your plate daily. Science proves these benefits conclusively. A multi-center study conducted at 5 universities followed 3,200 older adults for a decade and concluded that dietary patterns were more determinant for cognitive health than genetics. That's right. More important than your genes is what you eat. Those who avoided the 5 harmful foods and regularly consumed the 5 protective ones showed 67% fewer cases of mild cognitive impairment and dementia. Even more impressive, neuroimaging exams showed increased neural connectivity in just 16 weeks of dietary changes, without medications or other interventions. The brain is an extremely adaptable organ, even at advanced ages, and responds quickly to a proper nutritive environment. Based on these recent studies, choosing the right foods is not just a matter of general health, but a daily decision that can determine whether you'll maintain your most precious memories in the coming years. The difference between remembering your grandchildren's names or forgetting important moments could be in the simple act of replacing 5 foods in your diet. So, what will your next steps be? I suggest starting gradually, replacing one harmful food with a protective one each week. In the first week, swap the white bread at breakfast for scrambled eggs with spinach. In the second week, include sardines at lunch twice. Continue like this, making small, sustainable changes until your diet is full of foods that nourish and protect your brain. Remember, when it comes to your brain, each meal is an opportunity for protection or damage, and the decision is literally in your hands. You don't need to accept memory loss as an inevitable part of age. With the right food choices, you can not only preserve your cognitive function but even improve it. And if you're already feeling the effects of cognitive decline, don't be discouraged. As we saw in the cases I shared, it's possible to reverse part of this process through proper nutrition. It's never too late to take care of your brain. Can you imagine how wonderful it would be to actively participate in family conversations again, remember names and faces effortlessly, feel mentally agile and confident? All of this is within your reach with simple changes to your daily diet. I hope this video has been enlightening and inspiring for you. If you like this information, don't forget to leave your like, share with those you love, and subscribe to the channel for more content about health and wellness. In the comments, tell me, which of these protective foods do you already consume regularly? And which will be the first villain you'll eliminate from your diet? Remember, your brain is your most precious asset, and nutrition is the key to keeping it healthy for many, many years. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and I'm here to help you live with more health, more memory, and more quality of life. Until the next video.